Wrestling fam, welcome back to Wrestling Pro News, your ultimate home for the most intense, electrifying, and jaw-dropping stories in the entire professional wrestling universe. And today we are stepping into a moment so monumental, so pulse-pounding, that it has shaken the WWE to its very core and sent shockwaves far beyond the squared circle, because Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate, has returned at Summerslam 2025 in a fashion so destructive and calculated that it has flipped the WWE landscape upside down and placed Seth Rollins and his dominant faction, the Vision, directly in the crosshairs of a man who doesn't just compete, he hunts. This was not just a return, it was an earthquake disguised as an entrance, a seismic shift in the balance of power, and a declaration that the chaos of SummerSlam was merely the opening chapter in a war that will redefine the meaning of dominance in WWE. SummerSlam 2025 was already primed to be a spectacle, but what unfolded was the kind of night fans will be talking about decades from now. From shocking betrayals to emotional returns, from titles changing hands in brutal wars to the debut of confrontations that oozed with decades of history, the event delivered a whirlwind of moments, but when Brock Lesnar's music hit, everything stopped. Every camera, every fan, every heartbeat in the arena froze for that split second before the chaos erupted. The moment came during Night 2's main event aftermath, where Cody Rhodes had just endured a savage street fight against John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship, a match that left both men physically spent and emotionally drained. Rhodes retained his title in a war of attrition, but as Cena slowly limped toward the stage, bruised and battered, the entire arena plunged into darkness. The silence was deafening, the anticipation suffocating, and then that iconic, bone-rattling Lesnar entrance theme roared through the speakers like a battle cry from hell. In an instant, Lesnar stormed out with that cold, predatory glare, moving like a lion released into the wild. And without a single wasted motion, he hurled Cena into a storm of three thunderous German suplexes that shook the ring to its core, following it with an F5 so devastating that the echo of the impact seemed to vibrate through the entire stadium. 17,000 fans exploded into a frenzy, their screams mixing awe with pure adrenaline, because they knew, Lesnar wasn't here to shake hands, he was here to destroy. And yet, even this shocking return was just the beginning, because later in the night came a moment that would set the table for the war to come. CM Punk, fresh off dethroning the seemingly unstoppable Gunther in a grueling 25-minute clinic for the World Heavyweight Championship, was too battered to fight back when Seth Rollins struck, slithering in with that trademark sadistic smile, cashing in his Money in the Bank contract in the most opportunistic fashion possible. With Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the muscle of the Vision, acting as his impenetrable wall, Rollins curb-stomped Punk into the mat and stole the title without an ounce of remorse. It was the crowning moment of the Vision's reign over WWE, with Rollins now seated on the throne, exuding arrogance and declaring that nothing and no one could touch them. But that arrogance may have been the spark that brought the Beast back to life. As if the night wasn't already a boiling cauldron of tension, Night 1 had given fans another bombshell, Roman Reigns' return. Aligning with Jey Uso to take down Breaker and Reed in a tag team war, Reigns then stood toe-to-toe with Rollins in a staredown that oozed with a decade of history, betrayal, and unresolved tension. For longtime fans, the thought of Reigns and Lesnar, two men who have fought in some of WWE's most brutal and high-stakes battles, standing side by side against a common enemy like the Vision is a possibility that feels almost too big to comprehend. That possibility became far more real when, after flattening Cena, Lesnar took the microphone, his breathing heavy, his eyes locked on the camera, and delivered just 27 words that detonated like a nuclear blast across the wrestling world. Seth Rollins, you think you're untouchable. You think the Vision can protect you. You're wrong. I'm coming for you, and I'm not alone. Lesnar is not a man who wastes words, and when he speaks, it's because every syllable has been sharpened into a weapon. This was not just a warning, it was a declaration of war, a promise of carnage, and the "not alone" part has ignited speculation that is spreading like wildfire. Could his ally be Roman Reigns, a man whose respect for Lesnar has been forged in battles that tested both to their limits? Could it be CM Punk, looking for payback after being robbed by Rollins? Could it be someone entirely new, an unknown force waiting to be unleashed? The uncertainty is what makes the danger even more chilling, because the Vision, as powerful as they are, may be staring down a threat even they cannot contain. The implications are massive: Lesnar versus Rollins in a one-on-one clash for the World Heavyweight Championship, where Lesnar's brute strength meets Rollins' cunning trickery, a match that could headline any WrestleMania. Or imagine the unholy alliance of Lesnar and Reigns, two apex predators uniting to dismantle the Vision piece by piece, an alliance that could shatter the current WWE power structure beyond repair. Then there's the possibility of Lesnar taking on the entire faction himself, Rollins, Breakker, and Reed, in a gauntlet or War Games match, using his unmatched physical dominance to dismantle them one by one. And of course, the wildcard option: Lesnar going completely rogue, targeting Rollins one night, Punk the next, even turning his sights on Reigns himself, reminding everyone that his unpredictability is his greatest weapon. Layer onto this the presence of Paul Heyman, a man who has managed both Lesnar and Rollins in the past, whose shifting loyalty could alter the course of this war entirely, and you have a storyline so volatile it could explode at any second. SummerSlam 2025 hasn't just opened the door to this chaos, it has blown the hinges clean off. The fuse has been lit, the beast is back, and whether this ends in Lesnar crushing Rollins, standing shoulder to shoulder with Reigns, or burning the entire WWE roster to the ground, one thing is certain: the WWE Universe is about to witness a war unlike anything they've ever seen, and this time, the beast isn't just hunting, he's building an army. Wrestling fam, welcome back to Wrestling Pro News, your one-stop destination for the wildest, most electrifying, and pulse-pounding stories in professional wrestling. And today we're diving headfirst into a moment that has turned the entire WWE universe upside down and sent shockwaves through the industry, because Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate himself, has just returned in thunderous fashion at SummerSlam 2025, delivering a spine-chilling warning to Seth Rollins and his dominant faction, the Vision, in a way that has flipped the WWE power board completely on its head. SummerSlam this year wasn't just another blockbuster pay-per-view, it was a seismic shift, a night when titles changed hands, alliances were forged and shattered, and legends returned with fire in their eyes, but nothing hit harder than the sight of Lesnar storming down that ramp like a predator who had been watching from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The arena was still buzzing from a brutal street fight between Cody Rhodes and John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship, a match that had left both men bloodied, battered, and running on pure adrenaline, with Rhodes barely escaping with the win, when suddenly the lights cut out, the crowd's roar reached fever pitch, and that familiar, fear-inducing guitar riff exploded from the speakers. Brock Lesnar was back, and he wasted no time making his intentions known, delivering 3 thunderous German suplexes and a crushing F5 to Cena that left the veteran motionless on the mat, while 17,000 fans lost their minds at the return of the most feared man in WWE history. But that was only the appetizer, because later in the night, after CM Punk dethroned Gunther in an exhausting 25-minute classic for the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins struck like the opportunistic serpent he's always been, cashing in his Money in the Bank contract with a sadistic grin, curb-stomping a defenseless Punk, and stealing the gold right out from under him while Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, his muscle in the Vision, stood guard to ensure no one could interfere. Rollins stood tall, declaring himself the king of WWE, but what he didn't know was that his reign was already in the crosshairs of a man who doesn't just challenge kings, he decimates them. The chaos only deepened when Roman Reigns returned on night 1, joining forces with Jey Uso to take down Breakker and Reed, staring Rollins down in a post-match moment that screamed brewing war. Given Reigns' storied history with Lesnar, the thought of the two teaming up to annihilate the Vision is enough to make the foundations of WWE shake, and it's that possibility that became even more tantalizing when Lesnar, after destroying Cena, grabbed a microphone and in just 27 words lit the match that could ignite the biggest feud of the decade. Seth Rollins, you think you're untouchable. You think the Vision can protect you. You're wrong. I'm coming for you, and I'm not alone. Those words weren't just a threat, they were a declaration of war from a man who speaks rarely but always delivers on his promises, and the "not alone" part has everyone speculating. Does he mean Reigns? Punk? A new, unforeseen ally? Whoever it is, Rollins is in trouble, because while the Vision may be a well-oiled machine, Lesnar is a one-man apocalypse, and Breakker and Reed, as strong as they are, may not be enough to stop what's coming. Add Paul Heyman's history of managing both Lesnar and Rollins into the mix, and the plot thickens to a near boiling point, because Heyman's loyalty could tilt this war in any direction. The road from here is paved with possibilities that could define WWE for years. Lesnar vs. Rollins in a one-on-one World Heavyweight Championship clash where brute force meets cunning manipulation. Lesnar and Reigns forming an unholy alliance born of mutual respect to tear the Vision limb from limb. Lesnar waging a one-man crusade against Rollins, Breakker, and Reed in a multi-man gauntlet that would push the limits of human endurance. Or Lesnar going rogue entirely, targeting anyone who crosses his path, from Rollins to Punk to Reigns himself, his unpredictability making every WWE show a minefield of potential carnage. Whatever path this takes, one thing is certain, SummerSlam 2025 has cracked open Pandora's box, and the return of Brock Lesnar isn't just a comeback, it's a revolution, a reminder that in WWE, the balance of power can shift in an instant when the beast decides it's time to feed. The fuse has been lit, the players are circling, and the WWE universe is holding its breath, because whether Lesnar crushes Rollins, teams with Reigns, or unleashes chaos on the entire roster, this saga has only just begun, and the war for WWE's soul is about to get very, very real.